Hello everyone and welcome back. This is the Losers Round 2 matchup between Papercut Assassin and AmaTerasu. We are nearing the end of Round 2. There's only 2 matches after this left to broadcast, so it's getting down to the wire. These are one of the last few games to be played, and we are playing today on Kansai Wood. This was Papercut Assassin's choice. He is here in the red as the Mori, going with a standard sword core sort of thing going on with the 2 Nodachis and 4 Katana Samurai, flanked by a bunch of spears, 2 matchlocks, those being samurai, and 3 cavalry units, 2 Great Guard and a Yari Cavalry. There's also a Yari Samurai, for some reason was deployed all the way over here, probably to capture the shrine, I suppose. And we're going to look over at AmaTerasu now, who is in blue as the Hojo, trying to keep the streak alive for that faction. He has a katana core going on with 6 katana samurai and a bunch of spears. Nice mix of Ashigaru and samurai, along with some Naginata warrior monks. He also does not have very many cavalry. He has 4 units. Looks like 2 Yari cavalry and 2 Great Guard, one of which is hidden off in the trees over here. So, kind of interesting. Usually when players play on this map, they kind of just run at each other through the middle, but this time both players are splitting apart and conceding the buildings on the opposite side of the field, so each army is going to have a building here, but that does leave it open to some cavalry action going around and uncapping the buildings. I wonder, the way he's splitting his forces here, maybe he's going to try and take out this Yari Samurai, but the cavalry from Papercut Assassin is coming over to check it. I don't know, I might have let him do it, because if he tried to attack this Yari Samurai, they could end up holding very firmly and kill quite a few cavalrymen. Even though he would lose the Yari Samurai, what's the point of Yaris, right? To kill cavalry. He could have maybe killed a bunch, and then what's left of his spears would have an easy time cleaning up what's left. Could have been interesting, especially if he could have maybe sprinted a matchlock over there in time, or just waited with this cavalry and maybe got him there pinned down. That could have been very good, actually, for Papercut Assassin, but he's taking the more conservative route and just doesn't want to lose anything this early, at least before he has the buildings. He will have the workshop, giving him a defense bonus, while AmaTerasu will be having the shrine, giving him the morale bonus. Now it's interesting, we might have an early cavalry battle, because I said he was playing conservatively, but AmaTerasu is playing a little aggressively with this cavalry, maybe is looking for an opportunity to make an early strike in, which could be interesting. Given the infantry battle, there is no real infantry advantage at this point. Both sides have monks, both have an equal number of swords. It's going to come down entirely to the Nodachis of Papercut Assassin. He is a designated attacker in this game, and it's going to come down to his Nodachi charge. If he gets a good Nodachi charge, the infantry battle I think will be in his favor. If he doesn't, it'll probably be in AmaTerasu's favor, so the cavalry are going to be important here to keep. But it does open up to some interesting early action. No missile units, it's important to note, for AmaTerasu. 2 matchlocks for Papercut Assassin could mean there's some skirmishing here. But, as I've said in other battles on this map, it's not a great map for skirmishing, just because of the hill. It's hard to get a good angle along with the trees. It just really is a good map for skirmishing, so not a bad choice by AmaTerasu to bring no missile units, even though on no matter what map, I'd always like to bring at least one, just in case you have some kind of response to the missile attacks, besides rushing forward into a sloppy attack or wasting some cavalry. So both sides seem to be meeting in the middle here, and I think AmaTerasu needs to be a little careful with his placement and stay out of line of sight of those matchlocks and basically nullify them. I mean, if he gets a good terrain advantage here, those matchlocks are going to be useless, and that's about, what, 1,500 koku down the drain? About 10% of his total funds. Could be pretty significant. Naginata monks are moving around, and interesting how both sides are deploying their cavalry on the same side, so it looks like both are determined to have a cavalry battle, and 1 spear unit for each, Naginata monk for AmaTerasu, and the lone Yari Samurai for Papercut Assassin. And now Papercut Assassin, being the designated attacker, seems to be the one moving out, and going to be the one taking the initiative here. But let's see what kind of shooting angle he has from his matchlocks. Actually not too bad. I mean, there is a clear field of fire that he could use here, so I think AmaTerasu is going to have to be careful and not get torn up too badly by those matchlocks. Oh, I forgot to mention, there were Kisho Ninja. I don't know if you saw them on the mini-map. There were 2 for AmaTerasu. I can't believe I forgot to mention them. And they're coming in fast now with stealth. They're hidden. Oh, they still haven't been seen. This could be huge, but he's going after the matchlocks, it seems. Not a high priority target. I would definitely be going more for the Nodachis. If he can take out those Nodachis, he can do serious damage. And the blinding grenades, actually it's going to be AmaTerasu taking the initiative here. With the blinding grenades out, he's going to run right in and take advantage of that early. And there go the big explosions into the Yari Ashigaru. Maybe a little waste of a bomb, but since they are in front, he's going to have to mow through those as fast as possible. Kishin Ninja looks like they're going to get both of their shots off before they rout, or go into battle, and then maybe rout. Kishin Ninja are going into the matchlocks over here. Now these lines are so long. We don't usually see battle lines spread out this long, but this is going to be very hard to micro for both sides. And we see already there's some wavering here in the middle. The blinding grenades and bombs doing their work on the Yari Ashigaru, and that one's already gone. He's going to be able to tear right through that front Yari Ashigaru line and go in for the kill. Meanwhile, ooh, it looks like our Papercut seems to be determined to have this cavalry battle and is fighting over here when his forces really need him along the front line. Kishin Ninja managed to rout that Yari Ashigaru. Now we'll be moving to the matchlocks, I assume. The front line battle. It's going to be Yari Ashigaru versus Katana Samurai. Ooh, it's kind of interesting. He's kind of throwing his Yari Ashigaru away early into the front line to wear down Papercut Assassin. Not a bad strategy if he can take care of this cavalry. The cavalry battle is going to be very important here because if Papercut Assassin wins here, then AmaTerasu's rear is completely exposed to just get nailed by that cavalry. But if AmaTerasu wins this gamble and wins the cavalry fight, he's just going to be able to tear right through Papercut Assassin's lines. And we already see one Yari cavalry moving up to try and flank and get that big charge off. No spear coverage for Papercut Assassin either as they were towards the front. Both sides taking a big gamble on winning that cavalry battle, and it looks like it's going to be AmaTerasu getting the better of that battle and will be able to move into position here. But both sides seem to have some morale problems, and both sides are routing at it. It looks like Papercut Assassin is tentatively winning this melee fight at the moment, but now the Katana Samurai have started to engage for AmaTerasu. And it's kind of hard to see with all the trees in the way. We see the bombs going off. It's just totally hectic down here. The cavalry battle's almost over. Just one unit left for each. A Great Guard will probably clean up that Yari cavalry as there are similar numbers. This Yari cavalry hasn't been able to do anything. The Yari Samurai have advanced rapidly, done a good job of cutting them off. And the matchlocks have a decent firing angle to go into the line here. This is going to be close. Yari Ashigaru routed, still over there. But it looks like the left side is starting to collapse for Papercut Assassin. AmaTerasu could sweep over now and end up taking this infantry battle, hitting the general now with the bombs. Going to be very dangerous. Katana Samurai moving up now, and there goes the whole left flank is just collapsed, so it looks like Papercut Assassin is getting the worst of this. AmaTerasu moving in to capitalize. This is going to be close, but it looks like AmaTerasu, he's routed the cavalry. Papercut Assassin has no cavalry left, but his Yari cavalry he tried to flank got caught too. So it's going to be close, but the infantry is routing for Papercut Assassin in red. And it looks like AmaTerasu is going to carry the day here. The last of his infantry is starting to waver. His general sent 21 men and engaged in melee. It looks like AmaTerasu with a really risky ninja move right up the front, moving him while stealth. What a great aggressive move. And was able to use that to pull out the victory. Gamble worked out in his favor on the cavalry battle. And he's going to be the one pulling this out and taking game number 1. What a great battle there, barring some corruption that may have happened. I think this happened after the patch, so I don't believe there's any corruption. But that's always a risk here in round 2, is you never know which ones were and weren't. And there it is! AmaTerasu. Oh no, there are 2 units left. Don't want to call it before it's officially over after some of the wild matches we've seen. Yeah, with this Yari Ashigaru sitting here, there may be some corruption in this one. I sure hope not, because that was a great match play by both sides, I think. Just ended up working out for AmaTerasu. The cards were in his favor in that cavalry battle, and that's what won. I think Papercut Assassin made a mistake by engaging in that cavalry battle. He did have a slight cavalry disadvantage, and so putting it all in the cavalry battle is what ended up losing it for him, unfortunately. If he got a charge in there during that infantry battle, it could have been very different, but that, as we know, was not the story. A little bit of matchlock versus Kishin Ninjas, and there it is, the end of the replay. AmaTerasu officially taking game number 1 for the Hojo. Maybe not a big surprise there, knowing the record between the 2 clans, but there it is. See you back on the main menu. Well, everyone, I think we had a losers round match that played like a winners round match. Both sides did pretty well, but I think AmaTerasu definitely got the better of that game, and I think the better player won in that one. Is that ninja action was just great. It looks like AmaTerasu just did not see that coming at all, and unfortunately dedicating his cavalry in that cavalry attack, all of his cavalry, come to think of it, was just not good. Maybe could have watched a little bit of their micro to see if he just kind of dedicated them or tried to get some flanking action in, because you really needed to do some serious micro on that cavalry front. And maybe the ninjas there put him under a lot of pressure and he wasn't able to micro properly. Maybe he was counting on being able to micro more and just couldn't because he had to worry about his infantry line. But regardless, AmaTerasu takes game number 1. We're going on to game number 2 now. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.